You're tuned in to Ask the Master Auto Technician. Car questions? Get answers right now. Call 850-763-0555.
James Auto Center, we fix it right, guaranteed. Beep, 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 yeah.
All right, good morning, everybody. Welcome to part 2 of our Monday morning show. I got Scott Hobbs calling all the way from Mr. Rooter Plumbing. I was talking before I went to break about he was going to show you how you can save money by doing preventive maintenance rather than crisis management. That a lot of people only think about a plumber when something won't go down the drain. Then all of a sudden it's a crisis. And then you have to call a plumber because you've tried everything and you can't do it. You can't get that drain to get clean. Scott, did I say that right about crisis management?
Oh, absolutely. I would say 80%, maybe 90% of our calls are emergency calls. Got to have it right now, and it's as a result of lack of maintenance over the years.
What is the biggest lack of maintenance you see that could be avoided if people would just have a plumber come in once a year? I mean, just once a year, preventive maintenance. How could, just walk through the house in your business? What do y'all see the most common lack of maintenance that people really need to take care of immediately?
Oh, well, definitely drains.
Definitely.
And I think that's because it's one of those things where you just in your mind, hey, I can put anything down it, get rid of it, let's just pour it down the drain and it's gone. And folks don't think about the consequences of, hey, I pour something down the drain, it's going somewhere and it's sticking to something.
Woo. I guess that's true. Whether it's a septic tank or whether it's sanitary sewer, people really don't think much about it when they put it down the drain other than it's going to go away. Hopefully it's going to go away. But sometimes it don't go away. It comes back, and it comes back with a vengeance. And, I mean, it comes back really, really bad, especially when we have the rainy times like we got. I mean, it's been raining so much lately. I bet y'all have had a few calls where drains are backing up in the house.
Oh, absolutely. That's pretty common. Septic tanks, if folks are not having their tank pumped every 3 to 5 years as a maintenance, not as an emergency, then, you're going to have that sludge and that fog or fats, oils, and grease build up on the top, and it's going to back up. You get this time of the year or when it's raining like this, the drain fields are taxed because they've got all this outside water coming in from rains and runoff, and it can't just take the stress that it normally takes. So if it's going to be a problem, it's going to be a problem now.
When is the best time to pump a tank out, before the rainy season or after the rainy season? I mean, I don't know which is the best time or not. I mean, if you had a choice, I guess it would be before the rainy season, I guess.
Oh, absolutely, before the rainy season. That way we're going to get everything cleaned out, opened up to get a fresh start. And hopefully you don't have any, problems with the drain field due to lack of maintenance. If you've never had it pumped, then you've probably done a little bit of damage to that drain field, allowing some stuff to go through just because it builds up and it has no place to go.
Well, if that fog, that fats, oil, and grease get inside the drain field lines, they end up clogging the holes in the drain field lines through that. And the next thing I know, you're going to have to replace your drain field. Is that what usually happens when that happens?
That's what usually happens. There's really no easy fix. It's usually worst case scenario. You have to go ahead and replace the drain field. And
that's not an inexpensive repair. I don't know. I'm just guessing that guessing for a new septic tank with drain fields, $7,000 to $12,000 off the top of my head. Just guessing. I don't know.
It could, and it could be much more.
Oh, really?
Depending on the location that you're at, and do you have to get a mound system, or are you in a wet area that requires it to be elevated, and then you've got to pump it to that elevation, so it can get very costly.
Let me ask you, how many houses, I don't really know, I know there's probably more houses in Bay County on septic tanks than there are already on sanitary sewer. Am I saying that correctly, or is it the other way around?
Well, that's a good question. I would say probably more on sanitary sewer, only because the more densely populated areas, say, south of Lynn Haven South, is going to be on sanitary sewer, and they are taking, anything in those areas that are on septic, eventually they're being put on sanitary sewer. Out at the beach, many of those homes are on septic for years, and they've run sewer systems through, and folks are switching over.
Yeah, so. I know that as a septic tank becomes becomes obsolete because they've got a sewer system running in front of their home or near their property, they have to go off of the septic tank into the sewer system due to they're not going to allow them to repair those septic tanks or drain fields. Is that correct? Is that county law out there?
That's right. There's a lot of these neighborhoods out on the beach, and you'll see the 4 inches, about the size of your leg, this 4-inch pipe sticking up in the yard, kind of at an angle. And those folks haven't tied on to the city sewer yet. So if their drain field fails and they go to the health department's going to say, hey, you need to go ahead and tie on to the city sewer. Yeah. And it's really the least expensive way to go, and it's no maintenance.
That's what I was going to ask. What does it cost to hook up to a sanitary sewer? I know there's an impact fee they hit you with. Is it what, a couple $1,000, $3,000, $4,000? I have no idea.
Well, that's interesting, and again, it's going to be dependent very much so on the location of the septic. Is it in the back of the house? Can we get equipment to the back of the house? So it's really kind of one of those things. How long is a piece of string? Well, but I can tell you the process. The process is we have to first pump the old septic tank. We have to do what they call an abandonment of that septic tank, which they require us to crush in the lid, break a big hole in the bottom, and then fill it with clean fill. And then they actually come and inspect to make sure we've done that, so that children 20 years from now, or animals or whatever, don't fall in a hole, or somebody drive across it to get it there. So it has to be abandoned. And then we disconnect it from the house, and then we run around to the city sewer. Now, sometimes if it's in the back of the house, they may have to pump it around to the front. That's why I say it's really hard to give you even a price range.
No, what I was asking for is not so much that, is the impact fee that the city, or I guess it would be the county or the city, charges to hook up. I didn't know if they had a standard price for hooking up, is what I was figuring out.
Right, and I've heard all kind of numbers. I've heard, like you said, $1,500, $2,000. I've heard even more, and I guess it depends on whether you're in the county and which municipality you may be in. And sometimes I've actually seen them where they go into a new subdivision and they'll waive impacts or greatly reduce the impact fees just to encourage folks to go ahead and hook up.
Well, it does seem to be the rules don't seem to be level across the board. I'll say that. I don't know. I don't exactly know how they all seem to be misconstrued, but they do. One price may be different for someone, and someone that lives 2 blocks away may have a different price. But I don't know how that goes about. But you are saying that we do have a lot of septic sludge in this area that has to go. I think we talked about it before. It goes to St. Joe or Pensacola. Someone was talking. I don't know who it was saying one septic tank hauler in this town, in Bay County, spends almost $100,000 a year to go dump septic tank sludge in Port St. Joe. And I think you also said there's about 10 haulers, septic tank haulers in Bay County alone. Is that correct? Am I saying?
Probably so, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, if we had 10 of them, they only did half of that. We're talking about a lot of money. We're talking about at least $500,000 a year just in Bay County haulers paying St. Joe. And I know that we got other counties that have other septic tank people that have to come from Washington, Holmes, Calhoun, and going down there. And I think Bay County would be a closer place to dump that sludge. And I know I'm on my high horse about that, but I'm trying to figure out a way to repurpose that sewer system that we bought for $29 million up there in northern Bay County, and repurpose that and turn that into a septic tank waste disposal area where we can get rid of it and collect the monies for Bay County to help pay for that place, instead of those 5,200 families that are on the hook for having to pay 3 and 4 times more price for water than you and I are having to pay.
Oh, sure, that'd be a fantastic idea.
And it would be better for you, would it not? I mean, I don't know what you pay to drop off your septic tank sludge, but the wear and tear on those big trucks that get a whopping 7 to 10 miles to a gallon if you're lucky, and plus having to pay someone to go down there, and it's at least an hour drive down there. An hour to pump it out, or less, maybe somewhere. I'm just going to say an hour, and then an hour to get back. There's 3 hours worth of labor, plus wear and tear. So you just added an extra, instead of $300 to that bill, that tipping fee, you've added another $100 to $150 to that tipping fee. So that's almost $500 out of your pocket to dump sludge that could be done a lot quicker and a lot, in my opinion, a lot faster, and less wear and tear on the vehicles if it was something that was more centrally located. But
well,
I don't.
If we could reduce that cost, it would pass on to the people that we pump.
Yeah.
We could pass it on. We would all get more competitive. Everybody would kind of inch down their prices because they could, and that would help the consumer.
Well, even if they just charge, I mean, just the labor for the labor for going there and back, and the wear and tear on the truck, that's an extra cost of several $100s a trip.
That's the savings. They could charge the same per gallon to process and take it from us, but we would save all of that tires and brakes and fuel and.
Because it costs a lot of money to maintain these trucks. I should know. I maintain. I work on. We just got finished repairing your Dodge truck you thought that it had a blown engine in it. Only thing.
I haven't got a report back on that, so that sounds good.
It was not a blown engine. The only thing wrong with it needed a camshaft sensor, a crankshaft sensor, and a fuel injection cleaning because you had an injector hanging open, causing white smoke to come out the tailpipe. Giving you the impression you had a blown head gasket.
Lack of maintenance, right?
Lack of preventive maintenance is what it boils down to. Lack of preventive maintenance.
But it has 200,000 miles. Let's not forget that.
Well, a lot of times you just have to look outside the box on some of these, because a lot of times when people say white smoke out the tailpipe, got to be a blown head gasket. Well, no, gasoline will make white smoke too when it's raw gasoline. When it doesn't get ignited, it turns to white smoke. And you thought it was steam, and when I put my 5-gas machine up it just to determine what was wrong with it, it went off the chart. And I went, whoa, that's gasoline. Pull that sucker back out. We have a problem here, gentlemen. That's not steam. That's gasoline. But we fix things by doing preventive maintenance. But preventive maintenance, back to this the septic tank sludge disposal area, we're not using that area up there right now. $29 million is what people are having to pay for it. They're being taxed due to short-sightedness of our county commission, where they're having to be paid this extra amount of money. I think someone told me they used to pay $39 a month for water, and now they're paying $196 a month for water, which is a big increase for the same amount of water. It's just that their prices keep going up because they're in the unincorporated area of Bay County. And anyone who's in the unincorporated area of Bay County, even though their sewage sludge is not going there, it's going where everybody else is going, they're paying more than anybody else. And to me, that just seems like an unfair burden on the citizens of Bay County. And let's see if we can take the burden off by repurposing that septic tank area up there. I mean, it would help you, it'd help me, it'd help the other. I'd venture to say there's probably 30, maybe 40 septic tank haulers in a 5 or 6 county area that could use that. And that could be extra money going towards paying off that debt and relieving the burden on it. And I think it'd be a great idea to do. But I think
there is a problem when your water bill is higher than your power bill.
That is the problem. And it seems like a lot of people are writing me going, the county commission doesn't listen to this. I said, I understand. I said, their hands are tied probably. And there's only one way to make a business grow out there: either get more customers, lower your prices, get more customers online, or get more customers on there, or repurpose it. Change your operating business, and that's about your only 3 options. And so they're going to have to change their operating business and get that to change. But anyway, Scott, thank you so much for calling on here. We'll get you next Monday again. And if you have any problems with anything of your cars out there or trucks, give us a call at James Auto Center, 1301 East 11th Street. And if they want to find more about Scott Hobbs, they can call you at 877-632-2001. Is that correct?
Right.
And you're open,
perfect.
And that's 8 days a week, 25 hours a day, can to can't. You don't ever stop. You're on call. And it's the same price on Sunday afternoon as it is on Monday morning. Is that right?
It is. It is. And we've got a live person taking calls and dispatching.
All right.
Every day and every night.
And that live person is here in Bay County. They're not someplace in Pakistan or India, right?
That's exactly right. They're American citizens.
American citizens. That's even better. All right. Hey, this is James Morris along with Anna Marie Morris. We'll talk to y'all tomorrow morning. Bye-bye, everybody.
James Auto Center, we fix it right, guaranteed. Beep, beep.